casino licensing process. Currently, casinos are not permitted uses within New York City zoning. This text amendment would resolve this zoning conflict while maintaining community's decision-making authority on casino licenses within the state's application process, which first requires approval by local community advisory committees, or CACs. Only applicants who submit an application before June 30th, 2025, and are awarded one of the 3 gaming facility licenses authorized by the State Commission after CAC approval and Gaming Facility Location Board recommendation would be able to operate in the city. Potential sites would be limited to high-density commercial and manufacturing areas. 80-01, Broadway Commercial Overlay, an application to bring several existing commercial uses into conformance with zoning in Councilmember Krishnan's district. East Tremont Cluster NCP, a UDAP approval disposition of city-owned property and an Article 11 tax exemption to facilitate the development of 3 new multi-family buildings, 62 affordable units and 1 superintendent unit, including 20 affordable independent residences for seniors in Councilmember Felice's district. Melrose Concourse NCP, a UDAP approval, acquisition, disposition of city-owned property, and an 11 article tax exemption to facilitate the development of 3 new multifamily buildings with 71 affordable housing units and 1 superintendent unit, including 23 affordable independent residences for seniors in Councilmember Stevens' district. Genesis Multifamily Participation Loan Program, a UDAP approval, disposition of city-owned property, and an Article 11 tax exemption to facilitate the preservation of 8 buildings with 85 affordable residential units and 1 commercial or community unit in Councilmember Salam's district. Finally, 2 applications in Councilmember Aviles' district. 341 10th Street rezoning and Article 11 will facilitate the development of 2 new mixed-use buildings, a 100-unit, 100% deeply affordable housing building under HPD's Sarah and Ella term sheets, and a 205-unit mixed-income MIH building, as well as the preservation of an existing 154-unit building through an Article 11 regulatory agreement. 41 Richard Street will facilitate a new 7-story mixed-use building consisting of light manufacturing, commercial office space, ground floor retail space, and 41 accessory parking spaces. Today, we will also vote on the following resolutions and pieces of legislation. Resolution 279, sponsored by Council members Robert Holden and Vicky Palladino, would call on the United States Congress to pass and the President to sign legislation declaring April 26 annually as Korean War Veterans and Korean Defense Veterans Recognition Day to celebrate the bravery and sacrifice of those who served. Resolution 172, sponsored by Councilmember Sandy Nurse, would call on the New York State Legislature to pass and the Governor to sign the Packaging Reduction and Recycling Infrastructure Act, which would establish an extended producer responsibility system for packaging. Introduction 689A, sponsored by Councilmember Crystal Hudson, would codify the Cabinet for older New Yorkers into city law. The Cabinet, made up of commissioners of 23 city agencies and chaired by the Department for the Aging, or DFTA, commissioner, was established in September 2022 to help improve programming and services for older New Yorkers. This legislation would fill out the Cabinet's membership with additional agencies and mayoral offices and expand the list of required invitees for Cabinet meetings to include the city's public libraries. The DFTA commissioner would be required to report annually to the Council, Public Advocate, Comptroller, Borough Presidents, and the public on the Cabinet's activities. I invite Councilmember Hudson to the podium to discuss her legislation.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Good afternoon, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on behalf on the bills of mine that the Council is passing today. As our city and our nation rapidly age, the New York City Council has an opportunity to lead by creating policies that directly benefit and impact older adults now and in the future. The passage of Intro 689 is one such law. This bill codifies the existing cabinet for older New Yorkers and adds more teeth, requiring more frequent meetings, more agency participation, and greater records of the cabinet's actions. I think we know that it can be a rare occasion that the council has little disagreement with this administration on a policy or program, but NYC Aging Commissioner Lorraine Cortez Vasquez deserves her flowers for this forward-thinking and crucial initiative. As council members, we and our teams know firsthand how difficult it is to get city agencies to coordinate around a given matter. Our rat mitigation problem was so bad the city needed to appoint a rat czar to flesh out an interagency coordination process. This cabinet ensures our city coordinates all relevant agencies to deliver the best results for our growing population of older adults. Now that it will be required by law, this board will ensure in perpetuity that our government works as a unified entity to make our city a place where we can all age in place comfortably and with dignity. I look forward to continuing to work alongside Speaker Adams, who's a fierce advocate for New Yorkers in their golden years, to deliver tangible relief to the diverse and varied needs of older adults across the 5 boroughs. Thank you. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Hudson. Introduction 129, sponsored by Councilmember Justin Brannan, would mandate a pilot program to install solar canopies in at least one city-controlled parking lot in each borough where such a canopy would be cost-effective. After the conclusion of the pilot, the city would be required to submit a report identifying the parking lots where solar canopies were installed and recommendations as to whether and how the program could be expanded and made permanent. I invite Councilmember Brannan to the podium to discuss his legislation.
Thank you, Speaker. It's Earth Day, and we're coming for your concrete. Earth Day is the perfect time to renew our commitment to green energy and a sustainable future, and I'm proud to stand with Speaker Adams and a council that takes the climate crisis and our resiliency in its face seriously. Protecting our planet in the present and for generations to come means both big, bold action and sweating the small stuff. The Solar Canopies Bill will push our city to make new, inventive use of open spaces like parking lots in service of generating green energy. Electric cars will drive us to a sustainable future, but we can't expect drivers to make the switch from fossil-fueled power to electric vehicles if our city is not built out to support them. I believe we have a responsibility to make it easier to own and operate electric cars in this city. Piece by piece, we are reshaping our infrastructure in a way that empowers New Yorkers to make the switch and drive vehicles that reduce greenhouse emissions and combat climate change and promote energy independence. So today, the Council is taking another step in ensuring New York City continues to lead the charge in the fight for our planet's future. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Brannan. That does conclude our stated agenda. With that, we will take on-topic questions first. Hi.
I'm wondering about the gaming tax amendment. It's fair to say that there might be a decent number of members voting against it, and if so, if you've been working these last couple of days to explain it or get more people on board.
Yeah, you know how this works. Of course, we would want a majority of our members to vote in favor of anything that we would bring to the floor. So the answer to both parts of your question would be yes.
Any specific concerns that you would?
Not really. We could go from member to member, at this point. I feel good about passing this legislation today, but we could go member to member to get feelings and guarantee we may have a couple feeling one way and a couple feeling another way. So it really does depend on the district, how the district is feeling, and what the community's input has been. Thank you.
Thank you. Also on the casino issue, with these new community advisory committees that will be in charge of overseeing the application process, there's been some criticism about them not including community board voices, which is the case with Bueller, as you know. But what do you make of that criticism? Do you think there should be community board input, or is it enough to just have this CAC structure?
I think that the CACs have been doing well. I do think that all voices, whenever it comes to community issues and issues of community, that there should be general community input. I don't necessarily agree that partial decision-making in this effort would be that community boards necessarily would be involved in this when the CACs are dedicated to this particular endeavor.
So you're saying it's not necessary to?
I don't believe it is necessary. However, I think that community boards, like the entire community, should have an input on thoughts as to what comes into the community.
Justin, how are you feeling about the text amendment?
I'm going to talk to Justin.
I mean, I see it as one of the handful of members who actually has a potential application. It's just a way to level the playing field to try to. I think the CAC process is going to be robust and rigorous, but in order to get to that process and for the community to actually have input, whether they want it or not, we need this text amendment, because what we were seeing was different applicants sort of starting, one applicant starting at second base, the other guy's still in the dugout, right? So the text amendment at least puts everyone at the same footing, and then we go from there. And I think all the members are looking forward to the CAC process that we've created, because I think ultimately that's where the rubber is going to meet the road. So today should just be seen as no more than we're just trying to level the playing field, so all the applicants, no matter how you feel about it, will at least have the same opportunity whether they get it or not.
Speaker, just be able to get your thoughts on some of the backlash surrounding the potential appointment of Randy Mastro as the city's top lawyer. Does he have the council's approval?
Well, we don't have a nomination yet. So without a nomination, we can't have an approval. You know, like with any appointee, you know, they have to go through the process. Process has not started because we haven't received the nomination for this particular individual. So that's pretty much where we are.
If he were to be, if he were to be appointed, I mean, what would your thoughts be on him?
You know, as with any nominee, credentials and backgrounds are going to be closely scrutinized, and that's especially important for nominations that require the council to advise and consent to enact an appointment. You know, it's fair for members, as they always do, raise concerns and questions regarding any appointee, so this would not be any different. Yeah.
Chris. Thank you. I'll try to ask the same question, but in a different way. If we step aside from the confirmation process, what do you think about Randy Mastro's legal record in general? He's, you know, championed a lot of conservative legal causes on environment, housing, homelessness, the list goes on and on. Do you have confidence in his legal record?
Well, you know, again, as with anyone's legal record or record of any sort, coming through and collaborating with the committee, with the body, is going to play an important part of, you know, whatever this nomination may look like. So collaboratively, we will make those determinations once we get a nominee.
Has the mayor's office or the mayor himself briefed the council in any fashion about this
No.
potential appointment?
No,
No, I'll address it.
no.
Any other off topic?
Cool. Thank you.